Rome was surrounded. Its people were starving. And in the year 408, the city's leaders received a shocking demand: gold, silver, silk, and 3,000 pounds of pepper. Why would a conquering army demand tiny dried berries beside precious metal? Because pepper could be carried, stored, consumed, gifted, or sold. It was flavor, but it was also portable wealth. Was pepper truly more expensive than gold? Not always, and probably not in most ordinary transactions. But it could stand beside gold in ransoms, rents, gifts, and treasuries, because entire societies recognized its value. To understand why Rome valued pepper so highly, we must follow it backward past European markets, across deserts and seas, toward the tropical landscape where the journey began. The source was not a mine or royal treasury. It was a climbing tropical plant piper nigrum, whose historic heartland lay around India's western Ghats and the Malabar coast. Peppercorns do not grow black and wrinkled. Farmers harvest the berry clusters, while much of the fruit is still green, then use drying and processing to create the spice we recognize. Under the heat of the sun, the berries lose moisture. Their smooth skins darken and collapse until they become hard, wrinkled peppercorns small enough to carry across continents. Black, white, and green peppercorns can all come from the same plant. Their differences come mainly from when the berries are harvested and how they are processed. Pepper's history did not begin when Europeans discovered it. South Asian communities had cultivated, traded, cooked with, and used pepper in traditional medicine long before Roman or medieval merchants arrived. Pepper had everything long-distance merchants wanted. It was light, compact, durable, desirable, and valuable. One ship could carry a fortune without filling every corner of its hold. Pepper moved from farms toward the trading ports of southwest India, where local producers, brokers, sailors, and foreign merchants connected the inland harvest to the wider Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean was already a sophisticated trading world. Indian, Arabian, Persian, African, and Mediterranean merchants moved goods and knowledge through networks built over generations. A first-century sailing guide described Muziris as a port crowded with ships. From the Malabar region, pepper entered maritime routes linking India with Arabia, Roman Egypt, and the Mediterranean. A shipment might cross the Arabian Sea and Red Sea, enter an Egyptian port, travel overland toward the Nile, and then continue through Alexandria into the Mediterranean. By the early Roman Empire, pepper was arriving from India in major quantities. Special containers guarded it at wealthy tables, while trade carried it even into distant Roman provinces. Roman cooks used pepper in meat, fish, vegetables, sauces, wine preparations, and even sweet dishes. It was not merely heat, it added aroma, depth, and elite sophistication. Pepper carried prestige, but Roman evidence complicates the idea that only emperors could taste it. Black pepper became more accessible than rarer varieties as direct maritime trade expanded. The Roman writer Pliny complained about the money flowing toward Eastern luxury goods. Yet his frustration reveals something important. Romans kept buying pepper because they wanted it. At a Roman banquet, pepper displayed more than taste. Serving an ingredient carried thousands of kilometers announced that the host possessed money, connections, and access to the wider world. That is why the ransom of 408 matters. Pepper was listed beside gold and silk because it represented a treasure the enemy could recognize, divide, transport, and convert into influence. The Western Roman Empire weakened, but the pepper trade did not vanish. Persian, Arabian, Indian, African, and Mediterranean merchants continued moving spices through changing kingdoms and commercial routes. Pepper reached European markets after passing through many hands. Mediterranean trading cities, especially Venice, became powerful distribution centers for Eastern spices. In medieval courts, heavily spiced food could communicate generosity and status. Pepper on the table told guests that the host could command products from a distant world. Pepper was sometimes accepted for rent, taxes, dowries, and obligations. The modern phrase peppercorn rent now means a token payment, but it grew from a spice that was anything but trivial. Pepper was not purchased simply to hide rotten meat. It cost too much to waste that way, and medieval people already preserved food through salting, drying, smoking, and pickling. They used pepper because they enjoyed it. Every broker, port, tax, dangerous crossing, and commercial risk increased the final price. By the time pepper reached Northern Europe, its cost reflected an entire chain of geography and power. European rulers and merchants began asking a dangerous question. What if they could sail directly to the places producing pepper and remove the middlemen entirely? Portuguese expeditions moved gradually down Africa's coast. These voyages were driven by several ambitions: religion, royal power, trade, and the possibility of direct access to Asian spices. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut on India's Malabar coast by sailing around Africa. Europe had found a direct ocean route into the existing Indian Ocean trading world. The new route did not create peaceful free trade. Portugal used armed ships, fortified ports, coercive agreements, and military pressure to control commerce and redirect profits toward its empire. Pepper shipments returning to Europe could produce extraordinary profits. Lisbon grew into a major spice center as Portugal tried to replace older commercial networks with its own control system. Other European powers wanted those profits. Dutch merchants obtained sailing knowledge, challenged Portuguese positions, and sent their own fleets toward the pepper markets of Asia. In 1602, competing Dutch ventures were combined into the VOC. It received a trade monopoly in powers normally associated with governments, including making treaties, establishing colonies, and waging war. The English East India Company entered the same contest. Pepper became one of its earliest major sources of profit, linking the desire for spices with expanding corporate and imperial power. Behind every European fortune stood farmers, harvesters, porters, sailors, translators, brokers, and local merchants. Their labor produced the wealth, but expanding empires increasingly tried to control their prices, ports, and choices. The search for pepper helped redirect ships around Africa, across the Atlantic, and throughout the Indian Ocean. A kitchen ingredient became part of a transformation in global navigation. Long voyages demanded better charts, navigation, shipbuilding, insurance, and systems for sharing risk. Pepper profits helped reward investors willing to gamble on ships that might never return. The spice trade helped strengthen the joint stock company. Many investors could fund enormous voyages, divide the danger, and share the reward. Commerce was becoming organized on an unprecedented scale. Over time, pepper cultivation expanded beyond its historic Malabar heartland. More growing regions, larger production, and improved transportation gradually weakened the scarcity that had made peppers so expensive. What had once traveled under guard and appeared in royal payments slowly became available to ordinary households. Pepper completed an extraordinary journey from locked treasure to everyday seasoning. Black pepper's heat is different from chili. Its pungency comes largely from piperine, while its aroma carries woody, citrus-like, floral, and earthy notes that become vivid when the peppercorn is crushed. Pepper entered sauces, soups, cured foods, meat dishes, vegetables, breads, and spice blends across the world. Different cultures absorbed it into their own culinary identities. Pepper was not always literally more expensive than gold. Its greater story is more interesting. People valued it enough to build routes, fund fleets, demand it in ransoms, and fight for control of its trade. Pepper connected cultures and transformed food, but the struggle to control it also encouraged monopoly, coercion, armed expansion, and colonial exploitation. Its history contains creativity and suffering. The next time you crack black pepper over dinner, remember what you are holding: a berry that crossed oceans, enriched merchants, challenged empires, and changed the map of the world. Subscribe for more powerful stories behind the food we eat.